Hey, son.
Hey, yeah.
So, we're gonna have to go with the portal after all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the potions didn't brew up like I had hoped.
I told ya we should have gone for the portal in the first point.
Yeah, whatever. God, it's gonna take weeks to finish that thing.
Yeah, but it'll be great for pillaging the other channels out there.
Yeah, it will. It'll be great for researching other channels.
Is that what you call it nowadays?
Oh, hush. Welcome back. So, you just overheard the reagents not working out from last episode. That's been kind of par for the course for the last couple of weeks. Had a lot of things going on. Car had to go back to the shop to be fixed. Work called me in for some extra shifts. Got some drama brewing on social media. Oh, boy, I tell you. I'm still not sure what to do about those reagents because the formulary's over 80 years old and you really got to have the right consistency of chunky peanut butter to form the base reagent for that potion. Yeah, I'll have to get back to that sometime. Now, for right now, though, I'm stuck with 16 pints of a brew that makes me look fuzzy around the edges. Talk about things going sideways. Believe it or not, my life is actually a lot more tranquil than it had been. It used to be a soap opera. Seriously, I mean, come on. So much drama it would have choked a room full of divas. It took a long time for me to realize that drama is really counterproductive. It wasn't always that way, though. I used to thrive on drama years and years ago. Okay, not that long ago. I would love to stir the pot and soak up gossip and all that crap back when I was younger. Well, I grew out of it. So about 3 years back, when my roommate moved in... No, not that one. That one. Yeah, let's call him Cowboy. I think he'd like that. He dressed like one, had a bit of a Wild West cavalier attitude going on. He's actually great to have around. Good with cars, good with tools, good with kids. But he had a thing for drama. You see, my friend Cowboy has two things going against him insofar as drawing a drama. He's an adventurer, and boy does that attract a lot of excitement. And it also makes a person go looking for excitement. And he's an over-the-hill man in mature years who used to be an alpha dog, and he's still, like most alpha dogs out there, is trying really hard to cling to that. It tends to be a pretty volatile combination. See, when I first met Cowboy, he was going through a divorce, pretty messy one. Another acquaintance of mine was busy stealing his wife. And to do that, he's setting up Cowboy with the rest of us so he'd be distracted while the wife stealing was going on. Talk about drama. So that happened, and the divorce happened, and Cowboy was a roommate of mine for a short while. Anyway, a short time later, he went his own way, and I went mine, and a few years went by where we kept in touch, but didn't really cross paths that much. Shortly around the time when I was getting married, my little patch of drama, he met a girl about half his age, power to him, and they were a pair of star-crossed lovers. It was just... There was so much passion, it was unbelievable, but you just knew from looking at it that it just wasn't going to last. Something bad was going to happen. And, yeah, it did. That's a story from another day, and probably better if Cowboy tells it rather than me. Long story short, years go by, and his quest for adventure continued. He won one of those small pick 5 lotteries, got a bunch of money with it, got a bunch of friends, and when he ran out of money, he ran out of friends, and then his star-crossed lover, 10 years later, calls him back and says, hey, I missed you after all, so he rushes off to Texas to go hook up with her, and it falls apart again. And so... not much left but a few sentimental items and a car that needed lots of fixing. He needed a place to stay, and as it turns out, I needed a roommate. So Cowboy was here. Now, as you might figure, there probably had to be some arrangements to hammer out to let a fellow like Cowboy move in here as a permanent member of the house. I mean, can't let anybody go tracking through the dungeon and looking at the torture chamber and picking on our minions and thralls and whatnot. And that was the case with Cowboy. We had a lot of things to talk through, and one of them was the drama, because I'm trying to, leave it behind and find some tranquility in my life, and I wasn't quite sure where he sat because it had been a while since I talked to him. So I had this talk with Cowboy, and it was relevant enough that I want to share it with you guys. You see, even though I try to leave drama behind, it always finds a way to creep back into my life. And I likened it to a dust bunny that kind of clings to me. And I brush off this little drama dust bunny and say, shoo, get away, go on. And it falls to the ground, and I continue on my way. Well, see, this is where I make my mistake, because the little dust bunny will pick itself up and follow me. And by the time I realize that maybe I haven't left the drama behind like I thought, and it occurs to me to turn around and look over my shoulder again, that dust bunny has grown to the size of a yeti, and it pounces on me in a flying tackle. And once again, drama has entered my life. I don't know, I think some people are just unlucky when it comes to that. But it is really just counterproductive and counterintuitive and just every other counter thing that you can imagine, because you have so many things to concentrate on, so many things to focus your energies on, so many things that require your attention and money and need to be handled, that I've reached the point in my life where I don't understand why people need to manufacture excitement. I don't know. But anyway, back to the story. I gave that little anecdote to Cowboy, and Cowboy nodded in agreement, said he perfectly understood. And I tell you, the next few months were really good, because that man brought some very much needed healing into this household. At the time, I had both kids here, not just my son. And my daughter needed somebody to talk to who was not her dad. So Uncle Cowboy filled that void. And Cowboy loved just sitting on the porch with a cup of coffee, watching the sun go down, waving to the neighbors. And I found myself caught up in that with him. And we had many conversations about life, the universe, and everything. Got to hear about his adventures. He got to hear about some of my misadventures. And life was good. And you guessed it, we brushed off that dust bunny. And it picked itself up and started festering and growing. And it's sad, too. What happened, you might ask? I'm going to have to chicken out on this one and say it's a story for Cowboy to tell if he ever decides to tell it. But boy, when that Yeti hit, it hit with both fists, and I hope you come back to us someday, Cowboy. I hope you have some time to find yourself, and I hope you stay safe where you're at. I'm told that he'll be out sometime around 2019. So, let that be a lesson on drama for you people. Brush the dust bunny off and make sure it stays where you left it. Life is just too short, and you really don't need to look for trouble, because believe me when I say it will come looking for you on its own. On that semi-depressing note, folks, I hope you all have a good day, and I will talk to you again soon. Oh, and hey, before I go, I want to give a shout out to my good friend Corby. Don't think I didn't notice you sneak in and subscribe. I'm actually flattered you took time out from slaughtering zombies down at the mall so you could come and subscribe to me. That is so cool. But I do have to know, though, what do you do with all those phones?